Hi everyone, my name is Alec. Today we're going to be developing an app for both Windows Phone and Windows 8 using the XPlatformCloudKit. If you haven't heard of it already, the XPlatformCloudKit is an easy-to-use app template that allows you to build for both Windows Phone and Windows 8. You can go to the GitHub site, which you can either copy the link from the browser or I'll be nice and post it in the description, and you can see different types of apps that have been built with this kit, as well as watch different tutorials on setting everything up and how to build a basic app. And you can also find out how to use some extra features such as adding YouTube playlists or using the local file storage. It also has a list of all the prerequisites you need to get started with this, such as Windows 8, Visual Studio, the update, all that good stuff. But this video is just going to assume you have all that ready and you're ready to go. So whenever you want to start building, you can just go to the GitHub site, or you can also go to aka.ms/xplatformcloudkit, and it'll just bring you to the site. And when you're ready, you can click to download the zip. And what this is going to do is it's going to download everything you need for what we're about to do. So whenever you're ready, you can just click save and begin your download. I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to do that. And it should take a minute, and then you can go to your downloads folder where you should have it. So here we see I have this nice, wonderful zip file. Now the first step, and this is very important due to some, we'll call them quirks in Visual Studio, you have to unblock the application. So right click on the zip file, and you're going to come over here into the properties, and you're going to say unblock, and then you're going to click apply, and then you can close out of that. So after you apply the unblock, you can go right click and extract here, or extract all. Basically you're just going to extract the zip file anywhere you need it. I'm just leaving it here in the downloads. So once it's extracted, you can open it and you're ready to begin. So you have a few things available here for you. So there's that README again. If you didn't read it on the website, you can also go through that and learn more about it. It also has a couple documents on submitting to the store, as well as a PowerPoint that walks you through how to do everything in the app, how to do all the settings and everything. You can also learn how you can format different types of RSS feeds for use in the app. But we're going to do something simpler. We're going to be using what is called the XPCK App Builder. And what this is it's a WPF application that allows you to very easily build your own custom app. So you can run that if you want, and you might get a little warning message that pops up. It'll say, this is from an untrusted person. I promise this isn't a virus. All you'll do is you'll click more info, and then it might have you enter your password, but you'll click more info and then choose run anyway, and then it should open for you. And it only usually does that the first time you have to open it. So once you have the program running, you see you have some different options here. So first you have your global properties, so you have your application name. Basically this is whatever you want your app to be called. It'll be the title that appears on like your app's tile, as well as the top of the application itself. So you can come in here and change it. Just for this example, we're going to make a Windows Phone fan app or something. Instead of fan app, I'm going to call it enthusiast, because that just sounds better. Alright, so the next option we have is the cache interval. This is how long your app waits before it checks to for any updates for the news feeds or YouTube playlists, anything that you have reading into your app. So the default is 60 minutes, so it checks once every hour, but you can change this to however long you want. I'm just going to leave it at 60 minutes for the default. Then we have the options. We can enable Azure, and we can enable RSS, or we can enable the local file items. So if you want to turn those on, you can, and when you do, you see we get extra options over here to the right. So first off, we have our Azure mobile services. What you're going to put in here is your mobile service address and your mobile application key. Now, the ones that are already added in are just the default that are used for demoing the application itself. You're not going to want to use those. If you're using your own Azure mobile service, you're going to want to replace those with your unique keys. Then the other option is the create initial schema, which you can turn on or off. And basically what this does, if you create a database for the first time in Azure, it needs to show the items table what it needs to look like, so it'll generate that schema for you. And you will have to turn this to false inside of the app settings once you run your app for the first time. But for now, you can just leave those as is. The second option we have are the RSS services. So this is where you're going to add in all the different RSS feeds that you want for your app. So you can change the name here, so let's just say Windows Phone, I can't type, phone blog, and then we want to do our feed, which I cheated and I pulled up, maybe, where are they at? Alright, so I already have a couple RSS feeds, but you can find these on your own. So you can click away, and so we have our first feed. We also have the option to force this feed to go into full screen when the user opens the item. This is really good for like YouTube videos. If you're doing a playlist or something, you can use that option, but for most things, I usually leave it unchecked. So now we have that blog in, and let's say we want to add another feed. We can come in and we can say this one is Windows Developer Blog. And then once again, we can add in a URL for that. And we click away, and we're good. And one interesting thing to note here, you see the green check mark. That means that a valid RSS feed is being used. If, for example, I try and use something that's incorrect, like, for example, just having group URL, that's an invalid RSS feed, so it doesn't load. And even if I just try and load something like Bing.com, that's still not a valid RSS, so you get a big red X. So you need to make sure and check that you don't have any X's before you, try and create your application. So for now, we can just click and remove that feed. And we're just going to leave the 2 for now. And if you need to edit any of your RSS feeds you have, you can just click them, and then you can go ahead and change the name and the RSS feeds again. Then we have some more of the customizable options. So for Windows Phone, we have the option to use trial mode. And if we want to use trial mode, we can set the number of days. So let's say we want to do a 15 trial. And basically what this means is if you submit your phone as a paid app, you can also add on the trial option, and the user will be able to use it for 15 days. The simulate trial mode allows you to see, when you're testing your app, you can see like what would happen if the trial were to expire or something. We can just leave that unchecked for now. The next we have Windows 8 options. So you can use the light theme. If this is checked, then you're going to have a white background with black text. If you uncheck it, you'll have a dark background with light text. So let's just leave that for now. I'll do it unchecked because I want the dark theme. Then we have our privacy policy. You can leave this as the default if you want. If you have your own privacy policy that you would rather use, feel free to just paste it in here. That's perfectly fine. For our YouTube link options, we're not using any YouTube links for our RSS feeds in this example, but if you were, you can use these to either force YouTube videos to full screen when they're opened, or you can set YouTube videos to autoplay. So you can turn these on and off as you want. Then you have some more advanced options. So if you want, you can disable hyperlinks in the description, or you can disable opening links in a new tab. If you disable hyperlinks, all of them, then any links that you have inside of the description part of the item on the description page, it's not going to, you can't even click it. And if you just choose disable opening hyperlinks, it'll just open it right there in the description view rather than opening it inside of a different browser. Then next we can choose our logos and wallpapers. So you can choose to enable these if you want. You don't have to enable both of them. Like if I don't want to have a phone, I don't have to. For logo, it's really nice. It automatically resizes all of your logos for you. I didn't get a logo beforehand. I'm just going to go grab one real quick. I recommend not stealing your images for this. I don't want that one. I want this nice pretty red one. Save picture. And I'll just stick it there in the downloads. But once you have your image, you can go and browse for it. And you can use any type of image, PNG, JPEG, GIF, they all work. And it automatically resizes and reformats the image for all the different tiles that you need. We can also choose a wallpaper if you want. Once again, I didn't get one, so I need to go find one. But this one looks nice. No, that's Windows Phone 7. We're not doing Phone 7. That one works. We'll have a big red background. So you can go and save your image, and once again this will be resized and everything for you. Well, where are we at? Here we are. So you can select your background, and then you're good. So that should have us covered for all of our app settings. You can go through, make sure everything is okay, check or uncheck anything you want to change. And then whenever you're ready, you just click Create App, and it goes through and it shows it's generating your app for you, and when it's done, it'll switch back. So now your app has actually been created inside of the same folder where the App Builder file is. So basically, wherever you downloaded the CloudKit 2, it's just right in there, and it creates a new folder named after your app. So it makes it very easy to keep track of your apps. So now if you want, you can download and run the app, and you can test and see what it looks like, make sure everything is okay, and whenever you're happy with it, you can submit. So I'm just going to come over here to Win8 and set a startup project. We'll just run this, make sure everything loaded in fine. Oh, and it's running on the wrong one. Let me switch it over here to my other monitor. There we go. So now it's loading the different tiles, and here we go. So you're going to see some default added in here. So like the Avengers, if you left the default mobile Azure key, those will be in there. We had local items checked on the settings. So this is a local XML file that you can edit, and there's more video tutorials on this on the GitHub site. So that's what that would be. But then we also have our nice RSS feeds added in here that we can see. And clicking them will take us over here. We can read all about them, see the different things they have in, and so it's really nice. And you can play with the settings as you want, find something that really works for you. But that's about it, and that should wrap us up for the XPlatformCloudKit App Builder. Thank you.